living on a major island in a major travel destination, I read a report or an article about, okay, people still going through with their, resorts, and they're sneaking off into the beach and they're getting arrested and fined. Um, what is something to consider for people who still might be planning to go through their travel plans during the pandemic?
So immediately, like if you're planning to travel within the next month, one thing you can promise is you are going to pay a decent amount of money, probably fly no less than 6 hours to look at the four walls that is your hotel room. So, I mean, come on over. I really hope you really love that hotel or wherever you're staying, because the law enforcement is serious. You can try to sneak out to the beach and likely you're going to get caught. And we've also seen, unfortunately, I can't say it's unfortunate, but we're having the grassroots. Folks are regulating, saying, I know you're not from here. Get off of our island, which, is a little bit sad because we always like to see the spirit of aloha, but you're really seeing the community protect the land. And so, right now it's kind of like just not worth it unless you want to kick it in a hotel. What we are going to see as of today, the governor is approving a bypass, meaning on September 1st, if you take a COVID test and it's negative within 3 days of your travel, you can bypass that 14-day quarantine. But everyone is hurry up and wait, because if we continue to see the surges, I don't know if anybody, if that September 1st is going to stay, because initially it was August 1st. So I would say just be thoughtful. What do you really want? If you want to bend the rules, it's likely not going to be to your advantage in Hawaii. And, why waste the money and, all the headache? And we want you to have a good experience. So maybe just like wait a little bit.
Yeah. Have you noticed the difference? Are the beaches more secluded now? Are the businesses like what's it like over there right now?
You want to know what's so crazy? Okay, so initially the beaches were empty, and so we all went on lockdown. We're even here. We're staying in our house for it was a little more than 2 weeks. So we did our 14-day, but it got extended. And when we went back to the beach, I'm like, this water's more blue. And I don't know if you've seen some of the articles where you can see the Himalayas from India, Los Angeles, all of a sudden the skyline's clear. And in Hawaii, I thought it was a beautiful natural habitat that was relatively unadulterated. And even in those few weeks, you saw the land heal itself. The water was more clear. It was more blue, less trash on the beach, less people. And then now, that was in the beginning of the pandemic. Now, with folks out of work, the beaches are busier, but it's our neighbors. It's just folks who live here, and it's a real interesting experience. I'll tell you, I'm happy to be stuck here. I feel like I have Hawaii to myself, and so I feel a little. I feel a little selfish, but it is really lovely to be able to see this in very special time.
Wow. I've heard that, I don't know if it's a quote or phrase, I don't know how to package it, but I've heard critical thinkers say that humans are the virus to Earth. Since we've been here, we've just been destroying stuff, polluting the ocean, polluting the air, chopping down the trees, and sometimes, we see hurricanes, we see tsunamis, all these crazy natural disasters, that's wiping out populations. But I'm like, we're building against it, but maybe the Earth, just like if you step in a step in an ant pile, you're gonna be dusting those ants off, right? I kind of think of it the same way. If Earth is alive and it is in its way an organism in its own, that's kind of what I thought about when this got really, really big. I'm like, okay, it's trying to wipe us out now, or some population control to before it's too late, because we're already getting close. I feel like maybe the Earth knows that somehow.
Yeah, so I've always thought that. Definitely I do not feel our current practices are sustainable. I mean, I think a lot of that it had, even prior to the pandemic was coming up, folks were like, the local food systems teach people to garden, these small economies. Now the reality is like, whoa, we for real need that. So I think there's more of a surge. But what I've seen with my own eyes, even in Hawaii, I'm like, yeah, that is for real. You kind of can't deny it. We were leaning on Earth a little heavy. I mean, not to say that the earth couldn't support that. And I don't know if we're overpopulated. I mean, I think that's a pretty, intense conversation, but, because I think the earth is strong, and I also think we're strong. I think we're way stronger than what we give ourselves credit, and the earth is just the same. But yeah, we've been leaning on each other, and the earth kind of hard. And I think this was a moment for us to kind of like back up a little bit,
Yeah, kind of get our priorities in order. And kind of sometimes you gotta take everything away to appreciate, what we have.